There are words sitting inside you right now that someone needs to hear, not tomorrow, not when the perfect moment arrives, not when life becomes easier, or when your heart feels less afraid, or when your pride finally gets tired of pretending it does not care. Right now, somewhere in your chest, there is a sentence you have been carrying for too long. Maybe it is, "I love you." Maybe it is, "I miss you." Maybe it is, "I am sorry." Maybe it is, "Thank you for staying when I was difficult to love." Maybe it is, "I never told you how much you meant to me because I thought you already knew." But the truth is, people do not always know. Hearts do not always understand silence. Love cannot always survive on guesses. We think time is generous. We think people will always be there, sitting in the same chair, answering the same phone, smiling the same way, waiting for us to become brave enough. But life does not make that promise. Life moves quietly. One day you are waiting for the right words, and the next day you are standing in a room full of memories, wishing you had said even one of them. And that is a pain no one prepares you for. Not the pain of losing someone only, but the pain of knowing there were things in your heart that never reached them. Sometimes we stay silent because we are scared. Scared of looking weak. Scared of being rejected. Scared that our feelings are too much. Scared that if we open the door even a little, everything we have been holding back will fall out at once. So we act calm. We act distant. We act like it does not matter. We answer with short words when our soul is full of paragraphs. We walk away like we are strong when really we are just afraid of being seen. And later when the room is quiet, we replay the moment again and again. We think, "I should have said it. I should have stopped them. I should have told them they mattered." Pride is a strange thing. It can make two people who love each other stand on opposite sides of the same pain, both waiting for the other one to speak first. Pride will tell you, do not text them, do not call them, do not apologize, do not be the one who cares more. But pride does not sit with you at night when your heart is heavy. Pride does not hold your hand when you miss someone. Pride does not bring back the moments you wasted pretending you were fine. Pride feels powerful for a moment, but regret can last for years. And maybe the person you love is still here. Maybe they are still breathing under the same sky. Maybe their name is still in your phone. Maybe you still see their face in small ordinary places, in songs, in streets, in quiet mornings, in the way sunlight touches a window. Maybe there is still a chance. Maybe the bridge is not completely burned. Maybe all it needs is one honest sentence. Not a perfect speech, not a dramatic confession. Just the truth, spoken softly without armor. You do not have to be perfect to speak from the heart. You do not have to know exactly how they will respond. You do not have to control the ending. Love is not about controlling the ending. Love is about being brave enough to let the truth exist outside of you. Because some words become heavier the longer they stay inside. They start as feelings, then they become memories, then they become regret. And regret has a way of visiting when you least expect it. It comes in the middle of a normal day. It comes when you hear an old song. It comes when you see someone who laughs like they did. It comes when you realize that the person who once waited for your words has stopped waiting. There are people who would have stayed if they had known how much they meant to you. There are people who walked away not because they stopped caring, but because your silence taught them they were unwanted. There are people who cried quietly, because they thought your coldness was the truth, when really it was fear wearing a mask. And that is why words matter. Not empty words, not fake promises, not beautiful lies, real words, honest words. Words that carry the weight of your heart. Tell your mother you love her while she can still hear your voice. Tell your father you understand more now than you did before. Tell your friend thank you for standing beside you when your life was not easy. Tell the person you hurt that you are sorry, not because it will erase the past, but because truth still deserves to be spoken. Tell the one you love that they changed something in you, that their kindness mattered, that their presence made the world less heavy. And if your voice shakes, let it shake. If your eyes fill with tears, let them. There is no shame in being human. There is no shame in loving deeply. The shame is not in saying too much. The shame is in feeling everything and saying nothing until the moment is gone. We are all just passing through this life, trying to be strong, trying to be understood, trying to protect the softest parts of ourselves. But sometimes protection becomes a prison. Sometimes the walls you build to avoid pain also keep love from reaching the people who need it. You may think silence keeps you safe, but silence can also steal the most important things from you. It can steal a final conversation. It can steal forgiveness. It can steal peace. It can steal the chance to look someone in the eyes and let them know they were never ordinary to you. And one day, when life changes without asking you, you may realize that the words you were afraid to say were the only words that truly mattered. So do not wait for tragedy to make you honest. Do not wait for distance to teach you value. Do not wait for an empty chair to remind you of the person who once sat there. Love is not promised another day. People are not promised another morning. The phone call you keep delaying, the message you keep deleting, the apology you keep rehearsing in your head, the confession you keep hiding behind pride. All of it is asking one quiet question. How long will you keep pretending there is always more time? because there may not be. And that is not meant to scare you. It is meant to wake you up. The people you love are not background characters in your life. They are living hearts. They feel your absence. They notice your silence. They remember your words, and they also remember the words you never said. A heart can survive many things. But being loved in silence can feel like standing outside a locked door, hearing someone inside but never being invited in. Say it while your hands can still reach them. Say it while your voice can still find them. Say it before the memory becomes heavier than the fear. Say it before your heart spends years talking to someone who is no longer there. Say the honest thing, the gentle thing, the thing your soul has been whispering every night when the world gets quiet. I love you, I miss you. I am sorry. Thank you. Please stay. You mattered to me more than I knew how to say. You were never forgotten. You were never just someone in my life. You were the part of it I should have held with more care. Fear has a quiet voice, but it can control an entire life. It does not always sound like fear. Sometimes it sounds like patience. Sometimes it sounds like timing. Sometimes it sounds like I will say it later. I will call them tomorrow. I will apologize when things calm down. I will tell them I love them when I know they feel the same. I will open my heart when I am sure I will not be hurt. But deep down, you know what it really is. It is fear wearing a calm face. It is the heart standing at the door wanting to knock while the mind keeps whispering, do not do it. And then there is ego. Ego is louder. Ego walks in like it is protecting you. It tells you not to look weak. It tells you not to be the first one to care. It tells you that silence is power, that distance is dignity, that if someone really loves you, they should understand you without you saying a word. But love does not work like that. People are not mind readers. People are not built to survive on mixed signals and cold replies. A heart can be patient, yes, but even the most patient heart can get tired of waiting outside a locked door. You may love someone deeply and still make them feel alone. Not because your love is fake, but because your pride is stronger than your honesty. You may think about them every night but never send the message. You may miss their voice but refuse to call. You may want to say sorry but wait for them to break first. And while you are waiting, while you are protecting your image, while you are pretending to be fine, something inside them is changing. They are learning how to live without the words you never gave them. That is the painful thing about pride. It does not destroy love all at once. It does it slowly, quietly. One unsent message at a time. One cold reply at a time. One moment where you could have been honest but chose to act unaffected. And maybe at first the other person still waits. They still hope. They still look at their phone. They still wonder if you care. But after enough silence, hope begins to feel foolish. After enough distance, love begins to feel one-sided. And one day the person who used to wait for your words stops waiting. Then fear changes its voice. The same fear that once told you not to speak now asks you why you stayed silent. The same pride that once made you feel strong now leaves you sitting alone with memories you cannot fix. You begin to understand that the hardest pain is not always losing someone. Sometimes the hardest pain is knowing you helped push them away because you were too afraid to be honest. There are people who never needed a perfect confession from you. They only needed something real. They did not need poetry. They did not need a dramatic speech. They only needed to know they mattered. They needed to hear, I care, I am sorry, I miss you, I should have treated you better, I was scared. I did not know how to say what I felt. Simple words, human words. But pride makes simple things feel impossible. And we do this because we are afraid of rejection. We are afraid that if we say what is in our heart, the other person might not hold it gently. We are afraid they will walk away with the truth in their hands and leave us exposed. So we hide. We hide behind being busy. We hide behind jokes. We hide behind silence. We hide behind the sentence they already know. But no, they may not know. They may be carrying the pain of your silence right now, thinking they were never important enough for your honesty. Love needs courage, not the loud kind. Not the kind that tries to impress the world. Real courage is quiet. Real courage is sending the message even when your hands shake. Real courage is saying sorry without knowing if forgiveness will come. Real courage is telling someone they mattered even if the moment has passed. Real courage is choosing truth over image. Because your image cannot love anyone. Your image cannot hold anyone. Your image cannot bring back a person who left because your heart stayed hidden behind your ego. Maybe you were hurt before. Maybe you learned to protect yourself because someone once used your softness against you. Maybe silence became your shield because speaking once cost you too much. And that pain is real. But do not let old wounds turn you into someone who withholds love from people who never hurt you. Do not let the fear of being broken again make you break someone else quietly. Not every heart that comes close is trying to damage you. Some hearts are simply trying to understand you. There is a strange sadness in two people loving each other and still losing each other because neither one was brave enough to speak. Two hearts both full, two souls both waiting. Two people pretending not to care while carrying each other everywhere. And the world calls it complicated, but sometimes it is not complicated. Sometimes it is just fear. Sometimes it is just ego. Sometimes it is just pride standing between two people who could have healed each other with one honest conversation. Think about the person you love. Think about the words you keep swallowing. Think about how many times you have opened their message and closed it again. Think about how many nights you have spoken to them in your mind, saying everything perfectly, only to wake up and give them silence in real life. How long will you keep doing that? How long will you let fear choose your future? How long will you let pride write the story your heart will have to live with? Because one day the chance may not be there. One day the number may still be in your phone, but the person may no longer be available to your heart. One day they may move on. One day they may become a memory with a face you can still see but a voice you cannot reach. And when that day comes, pride will not comfort you. Ego will not hold you. Fear will not explain why you wasted so much time pretending you did not care. So maybe today is not about being fearless. Maybe today is just about being a little more honest than you were yesterday. Maybe today is about admitting that love should not have to beg your pride for permission. Maybe today is about understanding that the words you are afraid to say might be the very words someone has been praying to hear. Maybe today is about putting down the armor for a moment and letting your heart speak before silence becomes the only thing left between you and the person who once waited for your truth, who once looked for your softness, who once hoped you would choose love over fear, over ego, over pride, over all the walls you built to protect yourself from a pain that may never have come. Real love is not meant to live forever behind closed lips. It is not meant to be buried under pride, hidden under fear, or left waiting in the quiet corners of your heart until the moment has already passed. Love is a living thing. It needs air, it needs truth, it needs a voice. And sometimes the saddest thing in life is not that love was not there. Sometimes the saddest thing is that love was there, but it stayed silent for too long. There are people who carry entire oceans of feeling inside them, but from the outside they look calm. They love deeply, but they say very little. They notice everything. They remember the small details. They think about someone before they sleep. They miss them in silence. They pray for them without telling them. They protect their name even when no one is watching. But when it is time to speak, they freeze. The words come close to the mouth but never leave. And slowly the person they love begins to believe the silence more than the love. That is what silence can do. It can make real love look like absence. It can make a caring heart seem cold. It can make someone who means everything feel like they mean nothing. You may think your love is obvious because you feel it so strongly inside. But people cannot always feel what you hide. They cannot always hear the conversations you have with them in your mind. They cannot see the tears you hold back, the messages you type and delete, the apologies you rehearse alone in the dark. To them, your silence may sound like rejection. And that is why love must be spoken before life turns it into regret. Not because words fix everything. Not because words guarantee a happy ending. But because truth deserves to be given a chance. The person you love deserves to know where they stood in your heart. They deserve to know they were not just another name, not just another memory, not just someone you remembered when the night became quiet. They deserve to know they mattered while they are still here to receive it. We often wait because we want the perfect moment. We tell ourselves, one day I will say it properly. One day I will explain everything. One day I will open my heart. But the perfect moment is a beautiful lie. Real life is messy. Hearts are tired. People are busy. Time moves without asking for permission. The moment you are waiting for may never arrive dressed the way you imagined. Sometimes the right moment is simply the moment you still have. Maybe you are afraid that your words will not change anything. Maybe you think it is too late already. Maybe the distance has grown. Maybe the conversations are shorter now. Maybe their eyes do not look at you the same way. But honesty is not only about getting someone back. Sometimes honesty is about freeing your own heart from the weight of everything unsaid. Sometimes it is about giving respect to what was real. Sometimes it is about standing in the truth. Even if the ending is not the one you hoped for, there is a quiet kind of pain that comes from loving someone in silence. It does not always scream. It does not always break things. It just sits with you. It follows you into ordinary days. You hear a song and suddenly they are there. You pass a place you once went together and suddenly your chest feels heavy. You see someone laugh the way they used to laugh and for a second life pulls you backward. And in those moments, the heart asks the same question again and again. Why did I not say what I felt when I had the chance? Because chances are fragile. People change, people leave, people heal, people stop waiting. The heart that once hoped for your words may one day learn to live without them. The person who once wanted your honesty may one day become tired of guessing. And when that happens, it is not always anger that takes them away. Sometimes it is exhaustion. Sometimes it is the pain of feeling unseen for too long. Sometimes it is the quiet decision to stop standing at a door that never opens. Do not let someone you love become a lesson you had to lose in order to understand. Do not wait until their absence teaches you the value of their presence. Do not wait until their name becomes painful to say. Do not wait until you are speaking to photographs, old messages, or memories that cannot answer back. Say the words while they still have somewhere to go. Say them while the person can still hear your voice. Say them while your love can still touch a living heart. And say them simply. Love does not always need dramatic words. Sometimes it needs honesty. I care about you. I miss you. I was wrong. I should have treated you better. You made my life softer. You mattered to me more than I knew how to express. These words may look small, but to someone who has been waiting in silence, they can feel like sunlight entering a dark room. There is no shame in speaking with a trembling voice. There is no shame in admitting that someone matters. There is no weakness in telling the truth. The world has made too many people believe that emotional honesty is weakness. But it takes strength to be gentle. It takes courage to be vulnerable. It takes a brave heart to say I love you, without knowing what will come next. It takes a real soul to choose truth over protection, because protection can become a prison. The wall you built so no one could hurt you can also stop love from reaching the people who need it. And maybe you built that wall for good reasons. Maybe life taught you to be careful. Maybe someone disappointed you. Maybe you gave your heart once and it came back wounded. But do not let the pain of the past silence the love that is still alive in you. A wounded heart can still speak gently. A cautious soul can still be honest. A broken person can still love beautifully. Some people will never know how much they meant to you unless you tell them. They will not know that you noticed their kindness. They will not know that their voice calmed something inside you. They will not know that they made your hardest days easier. They will not know that losing them scared you. They will not know that your silence was never lack of love, but fear. And if you never say it, they may leave this chapter of your life believing they were never important enough to be chosen out loud. So let love be more than a secret. Let it be a voice. Let it be a message. Let it be an apology. Let it be gratitude. Let it be a hand reaching out before the distance becomes permanent. You do not have to control what happens after you speak. You only have to be honest with what is living inside you. Because one day, every heart has to face the truth of what it gave, what it held back, what it protected, and what it lost by staying silent when love was asking to be spoken gently, honestly, before